Hi garden friends, Debbie here. So today I'm going to be talking to you about raising black swallowtails and monarchs. I have numerous videos on raising and attracting black swallowtails and monarchs, or any actually pollinators, so you want to check out those videos for more information. I do have one black swallowtail that I brought in. This year has been another strange year. I've seen some different butterflies though this year, and I saw the red spotted purple, I saw the tiger swallowtail, the black swallowtail, maybe one monarch, but I have yet to see more eggs. I did have unfortunately I haven't spotted any eggs lately. Usually I have quite a few around the last week and first week of August, so I'm hoping to find some. I have a lot of milkweed that I actually have to control for next year. The thing with common is that it makes rhizomes under the ground and it pops up in random places the next year, which is fine if you have a field, but mine's a suburban lot, so I am going to have to control that this year when I do some weeding. So I just want one area that has a lot of the milkweed right now, and so far I haven't seen any eggs. Now that doesn't mean that there was eggs and a predator got them, or that they actually survived and became butterflies, which is great. Before I left for the vacation, I did have a chrysalis, and I had a mesh bag over it, and I do have a short on that, and last year I did that and it survived and became a beautiful big butterfly. This year, however, when I came back from vacation, it was over 3 weeks, and I knew that was odd, and it started looking a little strange, and then I looked in the bag and there was an earwig in there, and it made a hole and probably destroyed the caterpillar, unfortunately. Then I saw another one and I did the same thing, and I don't know how those little guys get in there, the earwigs, but they also got a hold of another monarch that I had. So again, this year I have a problem with earwigs, so unfortunately so far I have not seen any monarch eggs. If I do, I will be bringing in the egg, not many, but I will be bringing in a couple so I could show you in the future, hopefully. So, but I do have one swallowtail that was on my veggie pod, and right now it's in this tube, and I'll show you what I do with it. So I brought it in when it was pretty small, because I did have two in there and one disappeared. Again, a predator, when I opened up the veggie pod, probably took it. So I decided to bring this one in so at least I could show you something, and it got bigger and it started wandering. So what I do when it starts wandering, or it purges, and purges, it just means that it secretes, usually it's like poop before it goes into a chrysalis, and usually that chrysalis stage takes about 24 hours. So about a day ago I saw that it started a chrysalis, and it just makes a little girdle and a silk pad to hang on, and I'll show you that in a second. But when it gets big enough, I put it in this toilet roll, I put a piece of paper towel over it and a rubber band, and now I'll show you where it's at. Right now it's in a what I call a J, so I'm going to take off the rubber band, and this is what I do in the winter when I overwinter. Sometimes they make their J on the paper towel, which is fine. You could just use that. So right now, I don't know if you can see, try to focus, but there is a caterpillar in a J. So I'm gonna cut this toilet roll, and it did purge. I don't know, again, if you can see, there's a little bit of it left on the toilet roll. So I knew it was gonna be going into a chrysalis once it purged. So I'm just going to cut the toilet roll, and I do see the silk girdle. So I just cut it. I kind of cut this a little bit short, but it's okay. No, actually it's fine. So I'm just going to cut it into like a strip here. And right now, you might not be able to see it, but there's a silk girdle holding it on to this cardboard. So what I'm going to do after I'm done with this video is I am going to take a safety pin and pin it to my enclosure, and it will probably go into its chrysalis sometime today. I have a really hard time catching them going into their chrysalis. They're really sneaky and it doesn't take long. It says it's less than 5 minutes, so maybe it'll do it while I'm doing the video, which would be awesome, but I doubt it. I'm going to stand it up, and maybe, like I said, if it goes in its chrysalis, then I will show you that. But that's what I do when I bring them in, and so in probably 10 to 14 days it will emerge, or I'm not sure if this is too early, it could be an overwintering caterpillar. So again, I'm going to put it in the enclosure, keep it in the enclosure till September, and then once end of September comes, I put it in my overwintering enclosure and I hang it in my garage, and I hang it from a little J-hook so that mice or predators can't get at it. And this has been really successful. Every caterpillar that I put in my garage has emerged the next year. I've had 100% success. So, but I do want to preface that with saying one year one did not emerge, and I had heard that it could take a little longer, so I just left it, and that happened to be the year of 2020. And I just left it in an enclosure, and then the following year, in 2021, in May, it emerged. So it was like 22 months later. So don't give up on them if it takes longer than 9 to 12 months, like the following year. It may take another full year before it emerges. So again, just keep it in an enclosure in a safe place until the following year. Now, you could look at it, and if it has a hole for some reason in the chrysalis, then something got at it. Or if it starts looking like it has disease, then again, you want to get rid of that. But I have not, when I brought mine in, had any kind of disease at all with the black swallowtails. I have had a couple monarchs though. I've had Black Death, which is a bacteria, and the chrysalis turns a black, and then when I see that, I just dispose of it, and I keep it away from other caterpillars or chrysalises because it is a bacterial disease. I have not had any problems with the tachinid fly at all because I bring them in as eggs, but that is another possibility with caterpillars. So back to my video on raising black swallowtails and monarchs. First, I'm going to talk about the black swallowtail, and they are native to Eastern North America, and I have a video that I'm going to be posting above. I had a bunch of black swallowtails emerge in my veggie pod, and when I opened it up, I caught 2 already mating. So this is that video. So now I'm going to show you some slides of the life cycle of the black swallowtail. So the first one would be your egg stage. The second would be your caterpillar stage. The third is your chrysalis. And then of course that turns into a male or female butterfly. And they live, generally speaking, between 2 and 6 weeks, except for the overwintering, which could overwinter for months. Like I said, 9 months to sometimes 22 months. Now I'll talk about the monarch. They are native to North America and South America, but also they are found in other places that have milkweed, like Australia, New Zealand, and parts of the Iberian Peninsula. And if you don't know, monarchs are known for their annual migration. So they have 4 generations, and the caterpillars lay eggs right now, end of July, beginning of August, when they emerge as butterflies in late August, usually beginning of September in our zone, which is 5B/6A. They are the migrators, and they do not die. They go to Mexico and they stay in the forest until the following spring, where they mate and then start the generations all over again. And if you don't know and haven't followed my channel, my first year I tagged a butterfly that had made it to Mexico. I tag every year, and I'm doing less and less monarchs again, which is unfortunate. But that year, I think I had at least close to 30 that I tagged, and one was found in Mexico. Now, the way that they found that tag is that the locals are given $5 for each tag that they recover. Sometimes they fall off the butterfly. Sometimes the butterfly has passed and they record that tag number. And sometimes they just see them in trees and again, they record them. I'm not sure what happened with mine, but I was just happy that it made it all the way to Mexico, and I'm hoping that it made it and its life cycle was over at that point. And again, that was a female that was found the first year that I tagged. And so here are the monarch's life cycle. The egg, the caterpillar or larva as it's called, the chrysalis or pupa, and lastly the butterfly, which again they live between 2 and 6 weeks unless it is a 4th generation migrator, and they live until the following spring. I hope you found this video interesting, so give it a like and share with your butterfly enthusiasts. Next week I'm going to be giving you some garden updates, and I'm going to be next year, I'm starting to get supplies. I'm going to be transforming my farm garden into all Epic gardening products. So they're raised beds, they're seeds. So I'm excited for that for next year. So you'll have to come along with me and follow that process. And like I said, I will be showing you the updates of my cut flower garden, my farm garden, my raised bed garden, and maybe in a couple weeks I'll do my own garden. I have a bunch of weeding. We've had a little bit of rain on and off, so I do have to get to my garden and get some weeding done first. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell for any future videos. I want to thank all my new and existing subscribers for their support. Thanks for watching and happy gardening. Bye-bye.